Why is it that YouTube is such a success? What's enabled it to be that kind of global, long-term phenomenon? I think for me it's because it talks to two key things, two kind of key instincts that we all share. So one of them is to create, and the other one is to consume. To create entertainment and to consume entertainment. And when you kind of stop and think about those two core desires that everyone around the world shares, and you stop and think about YouTube, you actually see those two things come together really, really well. So it's about entertainment. It's about the right to create entertainment and the right to be entertained as well. And that really is what has sustained the YouTube success over the last. I think one of the most amazing things about YouTube is that the business, after 10 years, is still growing very strongly. We've had some amazing stats from Marty. Let me just fill you in on what we're seeing on both a global basis and also here in Hong Kong. And I think it's really important to remember that not only is YouTube a global phenomenon, but it's also a real powerhouse of creativity and content here in Hong Kong. I mean, what I always say is that Hong Kong loves YouTube, and I think the stats, the growth that we're seeing really back that up. So what you can see here is that YouTube watch time is growing 50% year on year. And that stat actually is true for both the global watch time numbers, but also here in Hong Kong. So let's stop and think about that. After 9 years, as we move into our 10th year, we're still seeing watch time growth of 50% year on year. That's absolutely incredible. And at the same time, as well as more and more people being entertained and enjoying content on YouTube, we're seeing creators do an amazing job and upload more and more content. And the numbers here are really astonishing. So growing 70% year on year. And as we heard from Marty, we're now seeing 300 hours per minute of content being uploaded onto YouTube. And I think once again it's worth really stopping to think about that, because 300 hours a minute is an absolutely incredible statistic. It means that the ecosystem and the universe of content that's available on YouTube is growing incredibly quickly, and that universe is growing for everyone to enjoy, both, as I said, creators and consumers of content. I want to talk a little bit now about brands. So I was going to talk about what this means for advertisers and marketers. I think the key point here is that YouTube has really changed the game. So if you're making stuff or you're enjoying stuff, it just changes the way you behave. But it's true, not just for creators and for users, it's true also for marketeers, for brands, for advertisers. They've actually changed too. And the reason they've changed is because they have to move from the traditional model of advertising to a model where it's about engagement. They're moving from disruption to engagement. They're moving from selling to storytelling. And that really is the key lesson. Brands now have to act like creators. They have to understand how to tell stories, the power of drama, the power of narrative, of tone, of tension, of music. And if they can get that right, then they can actually really make the most out of YouTube. And what we see is that the advertisers that do really well on YouTube are really good at storytelling. And they're behaving far more like content creators and curators than they are as traditional advertisers. So they really understand not only the power of storytelling, but crucially, as you'll see, all of the advertisers that do it on YouTube understand this notion of authenticity. Okay, so they can be authentic within YouTube. They can approach YouTube and they can create content and storytelling and marketing communications campaigns that are appropriate and kind of fit into the YouTube ecosystem. So let's kind of bring this to life. I'll try and give you some examples. I'm sharing with you here some of the most popular ads in Q1 on YouTube here in Hong Kong. This is what we call the ads leaderboard. We're looking at the ads that had the most popular reception here in Hong Kong. That was determined by a mixture of a number of things. So how many organic views they achieved, how many paid views they achieved, and the extent to which they retained viewership through the video. So in other words, how much of the video did people watch? And we look at those three things, and we look at the ads that did well under those criteria, and we see here that we've got Nestle, we've got Extra, we've got Nescafe, Longcom, and here we've got Manulife as well, all doing a great job of telling stories. And if you look at their campaigns, what you're seeing is that they're not messaging and selling, they're entertaining. They're telling stories. And that really is the key takeaway and the key to success on YouTube for the advertiser and for the brand community here in Hong Kong. So what we're going to do is have a look now at a couple of these examples and try and tease out three kind of key insights that we can share and that we can purpose. As Marty said, there's a lot that goes into being successful at YouTube, but there are some common denominators we can identify. And the first one here is this notion of creating content that people can relate to. And this is really about tone. It's about creating an environment in which the content you create works well in a YouTube context. And one of the things that people on YouTube look for, one of the things they really care about, is that sense of being kind of grounded, being true to yourself. And they can sense if you're actually trying to craft a message that isn't rooted in that kind of authenticity. And this first example here is Extra. So what Extra did is they got together with Boba, who is one of our YouTube partners, and they created this just 4-minute video called Mealtime. And to give you a sense of it, we're going to just play the first section. So let's just play the beginning of the video, please.
我hello各位，呢個老朋友同大家講啦，好嘅就飯腳，唔好嘅就飯腳。食一餐好嘅飯，除咗色香味之外，選擇啱嘅飯腳都好緊要㗎。唔信啊？去邊睇睇啊？
Okay, now you can see this ad was actually 4 minutes long. So we're moving away from the 30-second spot to a free-form world, to a world where actually the advertisers can create content that is released, is free to live on YouTube, to be shared, to repurpose and to engage with. And that's a really, really powerful takeaway. I think the other key thing about that video is that, I'm sure you'll agree, it felt very YouTube-y. It was very very much in the context and the style and the tone of YouTube. The second example that we have here is Nescafe. And what Nescafe did here is explore this notion of of Mondays and Blue Mondays and how Nescafe can kind of play a role in that story. So once again, we'll just play the first section of the video and you can get a sense of how they approach using YouTube.
你好啊，金經理，我今日第一日翻工㗎。
本身嘅嘢，再4日啊！
Have you ever had that Monday feeling? You don't need to answer that question. So both of these videos are incredibly successful. So this first video here, the Extra video, 200,000 views. 200,000 views in just 2 days. With the Nescafe creative here, they achieved well over 500,000 views. Okay? So by, in this case, working with partners, and in Nescafe's case, making sure that they're authentic and rooted in the tone of YouTube, they found a way to engage and talk to audiences in a way that appeals to them and enables them to relate to the content. So that's the first key lesson. On the next slide, I'm going to talk a little bit about entertainment. Okay, so I spoke earlier about moving from selling to storytelling. And that's what we're seeing here with this Manulife example. So Manulife have got this 2040 campaign. Now, what they're not doing here is selling you the features of their pension product. What they are doing is bringing to life what it's going to feel like in 2040 if you don't actually plan for retirement properly. It's a fantastic campaign, and they're making the most of this free-form environment. They actually created 3 vignettes, and each of those videos cropped up well over 300,000 views. So you can see that by giving people the option to engage with your story and to take it where they want to, you're going to really make the most of the interactivity of YouTube. And once again, by blending that with storytelling, they're very, very powerful and entertaining formats. So that's the second thing, make sure you're entertaining. And then the last thing I want to talk about is mobile. Okay? And this is absolutely important. I think for me, when I think about marketing now, the M stands for mobile. There's no doubt now that mobile is an absolutely central marketing discipline. It's not an optional extra, it's not an add-on. It's absolutely right at the heart of what it looks like in marketing. And it's an essential part of successful campaigns in today's YouTube environment, but also more broadly as well. And what you can see here, and what we're announcing today, is that now 50% of YouTube watch time in Hong Kong comes from mobile. So I think that just underlines very, very powerfully the importance of mobile. I mean, we've really, as I said earlier, Hong Kong loves YouTube, Hong Kong also loves mobile. We've really seen amazing adoption rates, and we see Hong Kong as one of the leading markets in terms of mobile behaviour. So some work we did last year showed us that nearly 80% of people in Hong Kong have a smartphone. Many of them have got well over one device, on average of 3 in Hong Kong. And now 14% of people in Hong Kong only access the internet through their mobile. So if you're not actually marketing on a mobile platform, you're missing out 14% of the entire population, which of course is not an option for what their budget is. So mobile is the last key point I really want to underline. And then just to bring it all together, let me just conclude with a recap of those 3 key points. Firstly, be authentic and make sure that you're able to really tell stories in a tone that works with the YouTube audience. Sometimes that's about working with YouTube partners, sometimes that's just about creating stories that have got the right tone and the right feel. That's absolutely important. Make sure you've got that sense of authenticity. Secondly, you want to make sure that you're entertaining, make sure that you're telling stories. And then lastly, make sure that all of your campaigns and all of your videos are rendering beautifully on mobile. And we think you do those 3 things well, you have a successful campaign on YouTube. And that is all I have to say today. So